Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to thank Kaizen Innovation for hosting this conference. Let me introduce myself. My name is Faiz Zulkifli from UITM. As you can see on the screen, our topic today is a revised Bloom's taxonomy, an essential approach to constructing assessment question for the probability and statistics course. This presentation is structured as follows. I will begin by introduction, then I will move on to the literature review, then methodology. After that, I will be looking at discussion and conclusion. Today's topic is one of the particular interest to those of you who have background in education. Bloom's theory has been a contentious issue in various studies perspectives. Bloom's theory has significant potential to be utilized to study teaching, learning, and assessment. However, there are still aspects of Bloom's theory that perhaps the theory and framework do not address. In 2020, Elrich studies general ideas in contemporary psychology and education in terms of a teaching and learning development framework. According to this framework, Bloom's taxonomy includes a number of conceptual flaws. This issue stems from a pervasive misunderstanding of how the human mind functions, how students learn, and how teachers are intended to educate. Bloom's taxonomy is influenced by old mentalist assumptions and the information processing mechanism paradigm for human cognition. Such weakness has been the main reason this study was conducted. The aim of this presentation is to reflect back on how to identify a question level of difficulty using the revised Bloom's taxonomy and to improve the quality of question items for STEM-related courses. Let's now move on to the literature review. Graspankis 2019 concerned about the method to construct assessment and evaluation of the question. This brings us to the next researcher. Segala and Rani 2019 suggested a process for producing high-level question in probability theory courses. The process began with the three experts in the field validating the question, then a field test was performed. Graspankis 2019 developed the Intelligent Guidance System or IGS that implements concept maps. IGS is capable of automating pedagogical function, problem selection, and managing assessment through the application of artificial intelligence, machine learning, multi-layer system, ontology, semantic web, and emotional computing. The system that has been developed is able to operate in a self-assessment mode as well as motivating students to improve their performance. However, the system is still incomplete, where there are still small systems that have not been able to be integrated together. Muhammad Talib et al. 2018 employed the Rush measurement model in measuring student performance on the final examination. The measurement model developed is based on the marks obtained from students on their final examination performance in the second year. Students' knowledge and understanding were measured based on three revised Bloom taxonomy levels. Although there are more advanced methods for creating high-quality assessment questions, this study just looked at the basis of establishing the level of difficulty of question for study subjects. This is due to a lack of studies of rules describing how a question created early in the Bloom taxonomy based on guidelines, verbs, and taxonomy description. Let's now take a look at methodology. This study used the document analysis approach, which is a qualitative research method. The research data collected was an assessment question document for one of the statistics course, specifically statistics and probability, which was obtained from lecturers who had taught. The selection of statistics course has studied subjects because the field of statistics also plays an equally important role in STEM education. The documents will undergo a review process to determine the difficulty level of the question using the 6 revised Bloom taxonomy levels. This diagram shows the level difference between the traditional and contemporary Bloom's taxonomy. The difference between the two versions begins early. The remembering aspect has taken the role of the knowledge aspect in the previous version. Students are asked to remember topics in addition to learning them, which improves cognitive processes. Furthermore, the traditional version and synthesis feature has been merged into the new version analyzing feature. The parts of evaluating and creating have been moved to levels 5 and 6 in the new version. The new version of analyzing, evaluating, and creating has improved the quality of high-level thinking. The most difficult part of implementing Bloom's taxonomy is interpreting the level of the taxonomy in the context of cognitive processes that necessitate a comprehensive set of questions covering the full course topic. The first stage, as demonstrated in Table 2 with the revised Bloom taxonomy verbs, is to define Bloom's level in a statistical context. However, the verbs are too imprecise to be effectively, despite the fact that their stated definition is obvious for each level. As a result, the proposed second step is to provide a description for each topic at each level. Table 3 shows a breakdown of the revised Bloom levels for the statistics and probability course based on the 5 topics. Okay, let me now turn to the discussion. According to Rahmi and Drake 2018, instructors use a level of remembering to determine whether students can recall definition or solution they have previously learned. Thus, Taxonomy Kisah and Stan 2017 agreed students can articulate or describe definition or solution to a learning topic they have studied using their own ideas or ways of working as related to the level of understanding. Meanwhile, the level of applying is done by the instructor to test the ability of students to apply the definition and formulas that have been learned correctly. At this level, skills from remembering and understanding levels are necessary, as discussed by Frankenstein et al. 2016. Based on Watan and Sugiman 2018, students must perform logical steps to discover the most acceptable strategy to use for a certain circumstance based on ways they have seen before at the analyzing level. The evaluating level requires students to assess information gathered from a variety of sources without any guidance or linkages to build. Students must be able to assess, criticize, and compare existing methodologies or measures as mentioned by Tai and et al. 2017. Besides, the creating level encourages students to use what they have learned to come out with new approaches, techniques, or models for solving an issue, as shown by Korosky et al. 2018. Table 4 shows example of questions for the statistic and probability course that have undergone document analysis according to each topic and level of difficulty. Only part of the table has been included in the slide. The full table can be seen on the full article. I am now nearing the end of my presentation. Let me continue my presentation. This research has proposed an essential approach to developing assessment questions for STEM-related courses. As demonstrated in tables, the entire process can provide a collection of questions that have been verified for the difficulty levels, along with the revised Bloom taxonomy guideline, verbs, and taxonomy description. The generated question bank may be used as a teaching aid as well as to assist in the process of writing examination question. We therefore strongly recommend that for further study to focus on complex approaches such as expert evaluation, field testing, and measuring techniques that can assess how closely the question generated match the students' actual abilities are required. Thank you for your attention. If you have any question, feel free to contact me through this email. Thank you very much.